Okay, so this is just a little bit of review for 2021, but also I'll look for the new generation of AP art and design students. So I'm in the AP Studio website. This is apstudio.ets.org, and once I log in, I get my student portfolio list. And as you can see, a lot of our students have already had their portfolios sent to AP, so we can't see them anymore. But here, Paige has her portfolio, and it is not yet sent to AP, so I can see it. I can't do anything here, but I can see what she's doing. So this is what it's going to look like when you're getting ready to submit your portfolio. You can see each piece is individually listed here with height, width. You'll have to write a little bit about the materials that you used to create it and the process that you went through to create it. Now, we decided this year with this new format that in the process, we wanted to give a little bit more of a clue about the meaning behind the piece. So, for example, here, Paige says, I wanted to emphasize the man's fearful expression and make it appear as if he were being watched. Right? So that doesn't tell us that she drew it and then put it on Photoshop, but we have seen that she drew this and then put it in Photoshop. Notice also that Paige has included like 3 versions of the same piece here. So her drawing and how she changed it in Photoshop to show them a little bit of process and revision there. That collaging together of images is a nice way of adding a little sophistication to your portfolio. You can see that she's gone through a number of stages here. And just looking at this, we see these 2 characters start to show up again and again. But just looking at it and reading the short descriptions as we get to things like this and this and this might not be enough to tell us how she got here, here, and here to these masks at the end. So, in her written evidence, Paige has a chance to use 1,200 characters to answer these 2 questions. Identify the questions or inquiry that guided your sustained investigation, and describe how your sustained investigation shows evidence of practice, experimentation, and revision guided by your questions or inquiry. She's going to explain that. She hasn't done that yet. Then there's a second section of the portfolio that is selected works. She hasn't filled this in yet. We're hoping that she maybe does that tonight. So let's go back to the student portfolio list and we'll look at one more that I know isn't done yet. I think Harry is still in progress, right? So I'm going to click on Harry, and Harry has done an excellent job. These are large paintings that he created, and they then become this large installation here. So we see how it fits on the whole wall. So that's a nice progression for that series of paintings. Then we have these drawings that he did. And we see them together, installed as a group. Then we have these drawings that he did of these little figures that were accompanied with some writing that he did. And again, we see them all together installed. So his final piece is this collage that's from images that he picked from books that he tore up and recreated himself. So he's just missing one image there, and I'm not sure what that image is going to be. But what we've got here looks very good so far. If we go and look at his written evidence, he writes about his investigation being called work in progress and that everybody is their own work in progress. He talks about specific images. Images 1 through 5 were inspired by pre-schematic drawings of children, bodiless figures, are used in various parts of my childhood. The red figurines attempt to hold on to childhood innocence I once had, while the black overwhelms the image, a new reality taking over. Images 6 through 9 show my development both physically and emotionally as a childhood passion for soccer persisted in every city I lived. Each image shows a new stage of my life and a map of a new city. Scoot myself out of the way. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There. Images 10 through 13 look at past cultures, past people who themselves were a work in progress. Each piece only partially complete represents how their lives of the artisans were cut short and their full potential never realized. He did mention when he was talking about those pieces that each life expectancy was different for like the real ancient looking things versus the Roman Empire and that sort of thing. So we can't include everything because you can see he's at 1,200 exactly characters out of 1,200 characters. So he's done that. So he's got those two parts pretty much taken care of. And if we go to selected works, you can see here he picked this big the mural as one of his. And you say, oh, but that was in his sustained investigation. That's okay. You can put stuff from your sustained investigation in. He's picked this collage as one of his favorites. And he's still got 3 to pick. So he's getting close, but he's not quite there yet. So that's a look at a couple of what the portfolios will look like when you are getting ready to turn yours in. I think I'm going to run out of power here, so I'm going to stop sharing and we'll upload this to YouTube for the